Alright, what up everybody? This is Pac-Man 1987, and I have got some Kerbal today, and the expansion is out. This is the Making History expansion, so we're going to check that out. They added a bunch of stuff. It's all like real-world spacecraft parts, stock, so they're lookalikes, but they're still Kerbal Space Program stock, so they still have the look. And I peeked a little bit, and there is some sweet stuff in here. I haven't even looked in the airplane hangar yet. Let's take a peek in there. I don't think they added anything plane-wise. There may be some new... Doesn't look anything plane-wise, but that's fine. There are new wheels. There are moon rover wheels. Like, they look like the wheels on the lunar rovers. So that's pretty legit. Let's go to the spaceplane, or the vehicle assembly building, and take a look. I'm excited. So, right out of the gate, we can see they've added some really neat stuff. We got a Soyuz style round pod. Oh man, that looks nice. That looks really nice. That's cool. I want to see the inside of this thing. Let's put a Kerbal in here. Deb's in there? Okay. Take a peek. What we got? Oh, cool! Digging the little targeting thing there. That was neat. That was very neat. I'll have to do a thing where I fly from in here. That could be fun. So, digging the interior view. Does it have anything else fun outside? Anything cool at all? Let's see. Nothing particularly wild. Doesn't look like it has a built-in anything, so it looks like you need a parachute up here, because I did see there was a mount for it. And I think that's actually the window. I think he's sitting in there. Let's... Yeah, okay. That's neat. He's actually sitting in there. He's looking out this little scope here. Oh, there he is. That's cool. He's got a view there. That one there. Okay, yeah. Very neat. Now there's another one of these. And let's take a peek. I think there's a bigger one. There's a 2 Kerbal and a 3 Kerbal version. Peek in the interior overlay. Okay, so it like puts them back there. That's kind of cool. And it looks like we get more windows too. Man, look at that length of that window too through the pressure hull. Good grief. Huh. I'm digging it. It looks neat. Let's revert to the assembly building and take a look at the 3 Kerbal version. I have a feeling it's just going to be... Is it the same size? It is, isn't it? What is the Woomerang launch site? Go there. I don't know what that is. I'm scared. I don't know what it's doing. Must be in another part of the planet. Or it crashed. That's a distinct possibility. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's really far away. Where the heck are we? What? Where am I? The mountain range. Oh! Supposed to be like a Russian launch site, I think. Yeah, that's cool. That's an interest. That could make for some interesting launches because that's not on the equator, so that's gonna put you into some wacky inclined orbits. You could have some fun with that. Interesting. Take a peek inside real quick. Oh, cool! You can actually see them behind him. That's pretty neat. I like that. That's new. Haven't seen that yet. Take a look at Jeb's view. Yeah, very cool. Digging it, digging it. So we have another thing I'm really excited about, and I noticed this earlier when I was looking at it. There's a Gemini pod. That's so cool. So cool. We're gonna put that on the pad. Did I send it back to that goofy launch complex again? I did. It's taking too long to load. I'll have to figure out how to make it not do that now. But that's okay. Probably have to recover the vehicle. Let's take a peek at this thing. Digging it. Turn the lights on. Oh man, that looks so neat. Oh! Oh, I love this. This is great. This is really good. Let's look out the windows. Oh man, I'm digging this. This is so cool. I was hoping they'd eventually do a Gemini style thing because it's a two-man pod. I mean, that's not a bad thing to have. Sometimes having that big heavy three-man pod just you know, it's kind of a why. Why am I not? There we go. Let's recover. So I already have an idea of something I'm going to do in a little bit with that. But we'll see. So what else? They've done some other things. I noticed they changed the Mark III pod. We're gonna check that out. So the Mark III pod's been modified. It looks awesome. I'm loving the way it looks now. I have to check out the IVA. The front windows are way cooler now. They're now Apollo style. It's basically been modified to look like an Apollo pod as much as possible. Now here's my favorite bit. It actually has its own built-in RCS system now. So when I did my my Apollo recreation vehicle, I actually added the surface-mounted RCS thrusters and did like a little rotated cluster of 3 in a couple spots to get roll control. Well, this has it built in now. That's great. That is so cool. They've changed this though. There was a version of it before it launched that had like a fairing up here or something where you could mount stuff like parachutes, like multiple chutes. Let's see if that's still a thing. I see now it's just one. So I saw a video where that wasn't working properly, and I have a feeling they did away with it for that reason. I think. Based on what we're seeing here. Which that kind of bums me out because I like having more than one chute. Usually on these. Like I like to have a drogue chute. Kind of sad. Especially because that makes it harder to fit a I wonder if I can make that work still though. Let's see. What can we do with that? Anything fun? Attachment, toggle torque. Actuation toggles. Interesting. So yeah, they did away with that. It had like a thing where you could mount multiple parachutes, and they've changed it. Maybe I saw a video where it wasn't working quite right, so maybe they couldn't get it working in time, and they decided to revert that change, which is fine. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do enjoy some Kerbal. A good chill game. Let's see, because I was really digging it, that you could stuff more than one thing in there, and I'm wondering, I bet you I'd come up with a way to make that happen anyway. But we'll worry about that later. We're still checking out new stuff. I'm gonna put this on the pad. I want to see the inside. Did they change it? Take a peek. I think they did. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, I like that. The interior view now, you actually can see under the deck plate, and you can see where they have... Oh man, that's really cool. They have monoprop batteries and actual ductwork for the RCS system. Oh, I like that. And you can actually see it back here too. That is really something else. They've done some really good work here. Let's take a look inside. Oh man, that's cool. Look, they even got the door down there. Oh, that is too cool. I'm loving it. Awesome. Yeah, they definitely remodeled it to look much like an Apollo spacecraft as possible. Can we see through the top anywhere though? No, okay. This is really interesting, the way they've changed this now. Take it back into the assembly building. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. I do like the sub where it pops up and tells you have a sub. Yeah, I haven't even looked into that yet. I should probably look into it sometime. I will make a note of that. I'll take a look at it later. Thank you. Let's see. What can we put on here? Okay, so it's the normal size for a normal Clampetron docking port. I'm just, my curiosity is getting the better at... What is that? What does that do? What? That's neat. Okay, that's the advanced grabbing unit. Some of this stuff is still mod stuff. Did they add anything new? Nothing new aerodynamic. Nothing new utility-wise. Although that's... I kind of like this now too, because now there's a nice open space on this side of the pod. So really, realistically, I could put this in... I don't remember what the hotkey is right now off the top of my head. There's a way to change the symmetry mode. To mirrored versus non-mirrored. But I'll figure that out later. But we could just have two of them mirrored. It'd be unbalanced, but that wouldn't be a problem. We'll play with that later. See what else we got. So this was the other thing I saw. I'm really excited about this. We have a Mooner excursion module now, and it's got everything. It has built-in RCS, it has its own monoprop. From what I heard, its reaction wheels are not very good, so you actually do need the monoprop. It has a mount for an engine down at the bottom, and it has its own little fuel tank with enough fuel in it to give it enough delta V to take off and get back into orbit. And I checked it earlier when I first took a peek at it and compared it to my own Apollo craft that I built. And the delta V is like right on the money. It's a little tiny bit more than what I had. So it is pretty close to what it should be. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen the inside of it yet. I did notice one thing with it if you're playing Kerbal. So you have a double node down here to mount, and the one it wants to use first, this one, which is actually like the attach node, where it attaches to the next thing, and you can see it puts up a fairing. You don't want to do that. There's actually an interior one, but if you move the cursor up enough that visually it ends up there, you'll notice it doesn't attach it, it just sticks it off floating in space. And I found the trick to get it to work. If you click here and you hold down and then you move it up until it shows up where you want it and let it go, it'll happily stick it there, and then you can build the next part. Which that became slightly tricky too when I tried it out, because now say you want to put a coupling on there so you can decouple. Again, there's two nodes. This one is the bottom of the engine, and it's not really where you want to attach it. You want to stick it on here at the slightly higher node, and you get a nice little ring of fairing. So that's just the first peek I took at this expansion. That was the first thing I noticed that was interesting. I had to find a trick for that. But let's take a look at the inside of this, because I haven't seen it at all. Thing is really cool. Oh, okay. We're looking through the top. Ooh, yep. Oh, and I like it. We have the... Oh, man. That's neat. That's really neat. Awesome. Take a look inside. Oh, yeah. Yep. They modeled this after the real vehicle. That's... They did a good job, too. This is really good. It's Kerbal, but it's very, very recognizably the interior of a limb. That's awesome. Alright, so let's see what else we've got, because I know there's a few other things. They did a whole bunch of stuff with engines and fuel tanks. Oh. I don't see anything else pod-wise right now. Seems to be it. There's a lot of stuff going on here, though. We've got fuel tank adapters now, so you can change sizes. We've got the, what is that, off of Vostok? Like the exterior booster fuel tanks. Different, we got like a big giant RCS tank now. I like that. And then all the fuel tanks now, I noticed you can change their colors. So there is no more orange tank. That was one of the other things I noticed really fast. There's no orange tank anymore. You have to make an orange tank now. One of these does it. This one. This is the orange tank. You gotta make it orange now. Which I kind of like that. You don't have to have a goofy orange looking tank if you're going for something stylish or a certain look. And the other thing I noticed, we have this engine cluster adapter for an Apollo first stage, and that looks really good, like really good. Take a peek at engines. So we've got, what is the Mastodon? That's definitely not what you're supposed to put there. But that is a monster. So here's a mainsail, and that's giving you Sea level 1,379 kilonewtons of thrust. What's a Mastodon do? 1,303. So I think that's supposed to be probably a Russian engine. Has variants available? What is going on here? Oh, it's got like a short one. And then a built-in... Ooh, I like that. That's cool. Anything else it does? No. Okay. So they give you options now about how you want it mounted. That's really cool. So it's slightly better than the Rhino. Not in space, though. But there's more. We've got the Cheetah engine. What does that one give us? That's small. Long distance trips in space. It has a really good ISP rating. Comparable to the Terrier. Which is that the Terrier has an amazing ISP rating, so this has a lot more, a decent bit more thrust, so it's kind of like a bigger Terrier. I'm okay with that. 345. Yeah. Very cool. Slightly less vectoring range. We've got the Bobcat now, which is a double engine. That's cool. What are you? Terrier's a half ton. Cheetah's a single ton. So the Cheetah's kind of smaller than the Swivel, but with way better ISP. This is more of a sea level engine, I would say, or maybe a second stage. It's got decent ISP on the ground and just okay in space. Good vectoring range. Yeah, that's a second stage engine, I would say. Got good thrust. Skiff engine. Well suited to local planet hopping thing. I feel like that is supposed to be a Saturn V third stage engine based on what it looks like. If I had to guess, I would say that's what it's there for. They also have this now, which is I believe this has existed as a mod before, actually. Yeah, that's been a mod before. Let me here real quick too. There we go. I was getting cut off. Just noticed my little chat box is getting cut off. That's sad. There we go. Yeah, this is a command and service module, or a command and service propulsion system. That would be the service module for the Apollo. This, the Kodiak liquid fuel engine. What does that one do? That's an interesting engine. It's not very big. I thought it was bigger. Got a decent bit of thrust. 1.25 tons. So the closest thing would be the Reliant. 205, 240, 208, 240. So it's like a Reliant. I think it's supposed to be, is it the Russian version? Maybe? For like the Soyuz stuff, perhaps? If I had to guess. 305 vac, 265 sea level. Slightly worse vacuum, slightly more thrust at sea level. Come in handy. It's a sweet visual variant. He also added the RV1 Cub Vernier engine, which has a 22-degree vectoring range, but it says it's only in one axis. So that's kind of interesting. Got a good bit of thrust. How big is that? Play with that. I have no idea what that does. What else is there? So that looks like everything there. I'm wondering then what you would want to do for an Apollo. So normally if I was building an Apollo and my existent load it real quick, my existing Apollo spacecraft that I built uses these guys for the first stage and then this guy for the second. So let's dare to compare how much thrust these generate. Where are those at? Oh yeah, they're in fuel tanks, aren't they? Because they're a booster. Like an add-on booster. Where'd they go to? Did they get rid of those? I'm gonna be sad if they got rid of those. I like them. Huh. They're not here anymore. Guess they got rid of them. But that doesn't make any sense because I wouldn't be able to use them. So they're just hiding around here somewhere that I'm not seeing. In any event, we can peek here. X200. I think they actually did get rid of those. But the file must still be in the game, so it's still letting me load it, so that's kind of fun. Kind of bummed though, I like those. The twin bore. Nope, it's still there. Got a new name. Interesting. So those have 1,866 kilonewtons of thrust each, but I actually have them undergunned to about 60% to achieve the thrust to weight ratio I wanted to take off for this thing. So let's see then what you can do with this guy. I wonder if you'd put a bunch of skiffs on there. 65, 95, 280. There's really nothing quite like that engine. If we stick that on there and we do the aha, yep. Look at that. That's the ones that are supposed to be there, I bet. Looks like it. Very cool. That has a lot of thrust too. That's less than one of these. Man, I had a lot of thrust on that thing. Well, eventually I will build an Apollo thing with these new parts, and we will see how that goes. But that's a really cool part. I like that you have this Engine cluster adapter, because you can do a lot with that. It's also like an interstage adapter. That's cool. Different fuel tanks. I did notice there's a new... Where's it at? Nothing new electrics-wise. There was a new service module, which also they've changed the couplers. They're now small. That's really cool. I like that because that was a kind of an issue with the old couplers, is they were really tall. Now you could stuff things into them and kind of turn them into a service module, but it always caused issues with like weight balance. It could get really annoying. Kind of digging this. Now what was neat here, if we stick a command pod on top, oh, probably need a heat shield. That fits really nicely. So this is a service module apparently. It was a bit long for my taste though. That's not really working for me. I did notice it was a requirement on one of the missions that's in the game now. Would you have it hibernate? Why would you hibernate a service module? That's just kind of silly. But look here, we've got like bays we can stick stuff in. Oh man, that's cool. You can stuff all of your extra bits in here. You stick a fuel tank in there? Yeah, there's rigid mount points for fuel tanks. Oh man, I like that. That's cool. And then you could put science stuff in there. Let's see, where's not you. Like one of these bad boys. That's pretty big actually. That's kind of too big. It works though. No, it doesn't. Too tall. If we stuck this guy on here. It's interesting. Nowhere near the Delta V you would need. That's cool. Play around with this. I feel like you could do a lot of interesting things with this service module. I also just feel like it's maybe a bit too big. That's okay. So that's kind of the rough rundown on what we've added part-wise to the game. They put a bunch in that I'm just like, man, they actually did a lot of work here. Stacking enough of these could make a revolutionary snack delivery system. What is it, just a tube? It is, it's just a structural tube. Huh. Yeah, you could do some stuff with that. That's a useful part. Very cool. A lot of this is mods. I don't know, there's a lot of fun stuff to play with. That being said, check something over here on my other screen real quick. Because they added something way cooler to the game. They added missions. Historical missions. Go back to the main menu and take a look at that. Play missions. So They also created a mission builder where you can build missions, which that's really cool. Let's see what we've got. Dawn of the Space Age. Jebnik 1. Oh, this is cool. It's a multi-stage mission. Do it. Why not? Okay. We need to do a K7 test rocket. Rocket that will reach 5,000 meters and return to Kerbin, preferably landing near the old airfield island. We might not have enough fuel to fill your tank. Okay. Needs probidobidine. Fair enough. What does this have controls-wise? Not a lot. No SAS of any kind. We have all the oh man, yeah, they give you limited supplies too. Okay. Okay. Not a lot to go with. Can't exceed 3.3 tons. 14 parts. 5,000 meters and return to Kerbin. Preferably near the old landing field. Or the old airfield. Okay. What do we got to work with? We got a hammer. That is stylish looking. Do I have anything a little, yeah, I like that. Just looks better. It's probably more aerodynamic, too. That's a bit much, but it'll also give us the ability to control the darn thing. Could very well come in handy. That's got a lot of delta V. It should be able to do what they're asking. Design-wise, it looks solid. Anything else I need to bring along? I guess it needs a parachute, doesn't it? Probably help. How much does it weigh? Too heavy now. It's already too heavy. Let's see. This is too heavy. Interesting. Huh. They do not give you a lot to work with. Can't exceed. Oh, okay. You're gonna have to underload it. Okay. Probably hurting myself with this, but that's okay. That gives it about 1,800 meters per second at delta V with a thrust away ratio of 7.1, which we do not need that much. I think 2 will be sufficient. Gives us 58 seconds of burn. Not 100% certain it's actually going to need maybe just 2 of them. 49 seconds of burn. Launch it. Start the mission. the old airfield. Yep, the island airfield. Okay. Let's adjust the volume real quick. That was a slight issue. It's okay though. Wow, I'm really enjoying they've changed the exhaust plumes. That looks awesome. This is some quality stuff right here. Oh no. Oh, it's gonna be bad. This is fine. That's fine. It's alright. Fine. This is why you check your staging. Please come to a halt now. Well, that went poorly. Let's try that one more time. Facility is locked. How come? Guess you have to restart it. No do-overs. A harsh mistress. That was truly fantastic, though. I really enjoyed watching that happen. Any old time now, Kerbal. Hi there. And I am on a very exciting loading screen. May or may not actually be working right at the moment. It's doing okay. It's still chugging along loading. Maybe the missions take a little while to load stuff. Give it a moment. Yeah, I think I'm gonna restart Kerbal. Slight technical difficulties. My thoughts exactly. Luckily it loads fast. All part of the fun of a new expansion. I haven't had Kerbal crash in a while because it really hasn't had an update in a couple of months now, so it's been pretty stable. Coupling decouplers. Transferring Homan. I like that one. That's pretty good. There we go. Let's try that mission again, this time without ignoring staging. Alright, so let's put that back together real quick. There it is. Okay. Wait, we really don't need it to have that much thrust, so I think 2 is more than sufficient. Might even be too much. That's okay. Good. Let's add our stage up properly. Alright, that looks good. I don't know if this one's gonna make it to the moon. That would definitely be that would be impressive. That being said, we can definitely go to the moon here in a little bit, test out some parts. I think that might even be one of the missions. Okay. This thing is wacky and wobbly. There we go, that's a little better. But it is performing well. Alright, we definitely have reached the altitude we want. Do you mind landing on the runway instead? Really, dude? Alright, I'll give it a try. Not 100% that that's gonna work. I have no wings. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. That's cool though, so you can give you mission objectives mid-mission to change. Digging it. But we're definitely not coming down on that runway. Don't think. Oh, is it already? Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'm in Eastern. I realized it was already 9 o'clock. Bet you if he had said that a little faster, Werner there, I probably could have adjusted my trajectory and actually landed on it, because this thing's getting an impressive amount of travel distance out of just a little bit of upward input. Definitely not going to land on the runway though. I should probably throw out my parachute soon, but I want to get as close as possible. Okay, we're flying. Yeah, we definitely didn't make it to the runway, although I could definitely see that being possible. Could have waited a little bit longer to do that too, actually, come to think of it. I probably only really need one parachute too. That is an impressive grouping of symbols. I didn't even know you could do that on YouTube chat. I'm enjoying this checklist I have here too. Huh. Kind of see the branching mission objectives. For ease of recovery. Wonder if you can get an achievement for doing that. Start building bigger and better rockets. Okay, so we need a high altitude sounding rocket. That's doable. What does it want me to put on here? So I like this. They tell you what they want you to do and what you have to have on it. Minimum altitude of 4,800 meters. Take a temperature reading and return. That is super doable. Shouldn't be a problem at all. Although it's gonna fly like garbage with this goofy thing on the front of it. What can you do? Oh, cool. Okay. We need interstages, we can do that. We may want to because they give us this big of an engine. Oh, you can make it smaller. That's really cool. That gets a good amount of thrust. We probably want to do this. We want to have this on here so we can decouple. We'll put a parachute on so that it comes back. Otherwise, we don't really need anything else. Mount the thermometer up there, I suppose. And then I'm wondering 48 kilometers. That's probably 2,000 something delta V worth of acceleration. Well, this rocket right here can make it to orbit. I would say it's able to do 48 kilometers. In fact, I probably don't even need to make it that big. Like, what do I get if I do that? 27, 48. I bet you that would be sufficient. And then some. If I had to guess. Now, that being said, center of mass on this bad boy. We may want to make it this part anyway, for stability purposes. I feel like that would make it. Fairly well balanced. Looks pretty good. Probably don't even need these. What with the engine gimbaling. It doesn't hurt to have them there. Or fuel in there though. That's good. That should be more than sufficient. I'm probably way overdoing it. Alright, got my parachute, got that. Give it an action group for the too hot thermometer. Log temperature. I don't think I have anything else I need to put on it, so let's fire it up. See how we do. Couple of nodes for you to attempt to hit. That's interesting. They give you other options for how you want to complete this. Oh, I'm really digging this. This is cool. What is that? 4,200? Give it a try. Oh, you know what I did not do? I did not adjust the thrust to weight ratio. It's really high right now. There we go. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 3-to-1. I can fine tune it a lot more. We need any of that. Come on. There we go. I kind of failed that miserably, actually. I think burned through all of its fuel almost right away. That was maybe a bit too aggressive. It's a lot less than I thought it was. Wonder how that happened. Cover. See if we can rebuild it. I don't know why it says the facility is locked. Doesn't make any sense. Kind of weird. I feel like that's a bug. Well, I'm gonna try it again. I think I can loft that thing pretty high if I do it right. I probably can't hit those, Come on, come on, stay stable. Oh my god, stop wobbling. That's a really interesting objective. But no, it does not have enough fuel to get to the altitude they want in the mission. Although it's really darn close. Darn. Close but no cigar. Some slight tumbling. Just a little tumbling. This poor thing. It has no way to control itself. This is ridiculous. Don't even know. Oh my. Oh my. Grief. So that's kind of fun. The thing is just a little bit on the wacky side. That being said, I'm gonna go back to the main menu. I want to mess with some different stuff. Check out what the other missions are. Trouble in the Void. Pressure or lack thereof. Ooh, really? Okay, we're gonna do this one. That sounds really... Wait, what? Be a min miss. Interesting. Launch 2 spacecraft and rendezvous and perform a docking operation. Oh, cool. They actually have an Aegina and Gemini mission. Oh, man. I'm excited. I want to check this out, though. This is like your spaceship malfunctions kind of thing. I'm okay with that. Whoops! Electrical failure on our spacecraft. I mean, it should all be fine. Oh, this thing's really cool looking. I like it. The bad news is everything else. Communication satellite nearby. Let me reset the Valve's computers, which should fix the problem. Whoops! Where is the satellite? Oh, is it right there? Okay. What direction am I going relative to it? That's retro. I'm gonna go prograde. Maybe? I don't think I'm actually generating any thrust. How much fuel do I have? I don't have a lot of monoprop for this. Probably already wasted too much. These RCS thrusters are insane. We're getting close to it though. All right. Oh look, we even have little different little spacesuits. Oh man. Wish I could get him to turn. Get in this thing. Can I get in here? There it is. Transmitting a crew report. I've also bumped this satellite. What? Okay. What is my objective now? So one of us has to land this thing, and the others have to land the other bit. That's fun. So we need to land them both near the KSC. Okay. Oh wow, yeah, they want it really close. That'll be tricky. Quick save. Let's see. Thought I had that as a thing you could do. Oh well. Well, let's see what we can do about that. We're pretty close to where we need to be to land it. See what trajectories has to say. should be able to use this to target the Kerbal Space Center. Pretty high G-force return, but not too bad. Okay, so that has us right where I want it, according to trajectories. We'll see if that remains the case. Now, does this have a detach on it? It does. Get to atmospheric interface and we'll decouple. Yeah. Huh. Parachute thing gets built into the top. I don't know what part, if any, of this should be pointing forward. It doesn't really matter much, since I don't have any RCS fuel anymore. According to this, we're off by a hair. We'll see. Probably because we're going in retrograde with this blunt object in front of us. So far, so good, though. Retrograde, which is what we're doing, has us about 12 kilometers off target. Kilometers east. Let's get kind of over it. And then I'll throw out the parachute. We should be able to land more or less where they want us. Looks like I'm actually coming up a little short. We'll see though, it may not be that far. This thing slows down really well. Pretty controlled. Well, not quite exactly on target, but that's okay. Let's get to the ground here. And successful landing. Alright, so now we need to get back to the satellite. Going around. I think we can expect that this thing will end up retrograde. Most of its weight's probably down there. It's gonna have a hard time. It's gonna have a really hard time. See what it would take to get us. Not a whole heck of a lot. That's pretty close. Okay, we're gonna do that. Got 5 minutes to the maneuver node. Get interesting. Alright. And we're going to be doing the maneuver node shortly. me go prograde a bit. Oh, come on. Fluctuating wildly. Okay. That has us pretty close. Take both of those. Just hoping it stays the same. This thing is wacky wobbly. We actually have SAS for this though, so that's handy. Oh, come on. Come on. Teensy bit better. Has us still about 8.5 kilometers short. That thing's gonna explode. I'm digging these vernier engines though, those are really cool. Nope, 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 nope. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. That's fine. Well, things were going well. It really does not, like, aerodynamically want to end up. over there, does it? Oh, we're coming around right about there. Does this thing have parachutes? It does. Any moment now. Maybe. There we go. Well, I guess we're going down that direction. Pretty good, though. To the surface. And how much of it's going to break? But well, that worked. Total score. Did I get the gold award? I did. Nice. Awesome. Okay, so that's cool. You get medals for completing the missions. Very cool. Oh man, these are fun. Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream there for now. I need to go take a break and eat some food. But I will be back in probably around 20 to 30 minutes to stream a little more tonight, because I want to mess with this some more. This is pretty good stuff. So, if you are still watching, I hope you've been enjoying. And look for me to pop back up here in just a little bit.